Check this out. Good morning, Vietnam. Johnny Travelog here. I want to talk to you about the importance of taking a gap year. What's a gap year? Look at that. Here I'm in the Sausalito area. In fact, yesterday I was in Tiburon. That's such a beautiful town. That's where Robert Williams is from. Saw his house. This is just beautiful and so peaceful. And I want to share this with you. That's kind of the reasons why I'm doing the Johnny Travelog. And I want to talk to you about the importance of taking a gap year. And maybe you're watching this, you're a student, you're like, what's a fucking gap year? Well, Google it. Or maybe you're a business owner and you're like, I'm not in college, why is he talking about gap year? The people I want to really recommend is if you are out of college, you are the people that need to take the gap year the most. And maybe you don't have a year. Maybe you have, it's too many responsibilities, and taking a year off is just literally not conceivable. Maybe take 6 months or take 3 months or take 2 months. Have a goal to eventually aim for 2 months. But here's the thing, if you can't do 2 months, do a week. If you can't do a week, do a weekend. So where I'm going with this is that if you run a business and you do not have the ability, the time, the desire to take a weekend off for recreation, then there's something wrong. And let me tell you something, Stephen Covey talks about, sharpening the axe. And if we don't take time to literally sharpen the axe, because let me talk to Mr. and Mrs. Business Owner, because see, I ran a business for 10 years. So I know a little bit about the way you guys think. And the thing is, running a business is difficult, and also middle management people who are kind of stuck in the corporate world where, the idea of taking a weekend off or a month off, that literally could cost you your job. But the thing is, these gap years, they're recreation in the sense that you're actually sharpening your saw. Now that I've taken my own gap year, let me tell you some things that I've learned. I've learned about my own inefficiencies of the company that I had back home. Like the people that I employed whenever I ran that company, I would never re-employ those companies. Well, let me say it differently. There's probably only 80% of the people that I hired I would never have hired again. Only 20% of the people that I worked with were really, really bringing true value, true contribution to that company. In fact, I heard this advice, and I'll kind of pass this on to you. And it's one of those things I heard, but I'm like, yeah, that sounds great, but I'm not really actually going to apply it. A guy said to me, he was actually in the mortgage business too. He says, if you cannot take a break, a 2-week break from your company, no cell phone, no email, nothing. If you literally can't take a 2-week break from your company for recreation or recreation, you don't have a business, you just have a job. So aim for 2 weeks. Maybe you can get up to a year, month. But everybody needs recreation or recreation, because a lot of times people think, and the way I was kind of raised, I was kind of thinking, raised to think that, more is more is more is more is more. Well, sometimes you got to sharpen the saw, and if that axe is not sharp, then there's a lot of futility, there's a lot of frustration. So, no matter where you're at, take a break, take a Sabbath. Even the Bible talks about the value of taking one day. Maybe just aim for a day. Anyway, it's Johnny Travelog. Wanted to share that little piece of advice, wisdom, whatever you want to call it. Say, hey, we're meant to take breaks. The Sabbath is not a waste. It's actually a place of recreation. And often that means moving into recreation. So what do you like to do? Like, I love cinema. I love film. I love documentaries. I love, obviously, nature. Move into that. Move into it for just one weekend. Make a specific goal. How do you recreate? And go do it. Again, aim for these little goals, like maybe a day, maybe a week, and then work yourself up. That's what it means. All right, you guys have a great day. Americano417@gmail.com. Email me. Love to hear from you guys. Americano417@gmail.com. You guys have a great day.